If you are still here, still listening, still watching, then you already know this message is for you. And there is a reason you didn't scroll past. There is a reason your finger hesitated over that screen, because something inside of you recognizes this moment as sacred, as necessary, as the turning point you have been unconsciously preparing for your entire life. Maybe you cannot explain it yet, but you feel it. That stirring in your chest, that quickening of your pulse, that quiet voice that whispers, "This is it. This is what I have been searching for." And that feeling, that recognition, that is your soul rising. That is your true nature waking up from the long sleep of simply surviving in a world that taught you to forget who you really are. You have spent so much time quieting that inner voice just to fit in, just to be accepted, just to navigate a reality that sometimes rewards pretending over authenticity. But this moment is different, profoundly different, because in this breath, in this heartbeat, you are returning to your truth, and your truth has been waiting patiently, holding space for you through every detour, every disappointment, every moment you felt lost or forgotten or invisible. You have always known there was more, haven't you? More to life than waking up stressed, running through endless motions, wondering if this hollow routine is all existence has to offer. And you have felt that pull, that gentle but persistent nudge that says this isn't the end of your story. This is barely the beginning. That voice inside you, however small it sometimes gets, still whispers through the noise, reminding you that you were made for something bigger, not because you need to become someone else, not because you are lacking or broken or insufficient, but because buried beneath all the layers you have accumulated, there is a version of you that is ready to rise, ready to remember, ready to reclaim the magnificence that was never actually lost, just temporarily hidden under layers of doubt, old pain, and beliefs that were never really yours to begin with. You were not born to be small, dear soul. You were not born to live by other people's limits, or shrink yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant to contain your vastness. And somewhere along the way, you might have started believing that playing safe was the same as being wise, that shrinking was survival, that dimming your light would somehow protect you from disappointment or rejection. But it doesn't protect you. It traps you, and you are not here to live in a cage made of your own hesitation, your own fear, your own conditioned responses to a world that forgot how to see the divine in the ordinary. You are here to live wide open, unapologetically, authentically, fully. And I know you might not feel ready yet. I know that voice of doubt still speaks louder than your intuition sometimes. But you don't have to feel ready to begin. You only have to be willing. Willing to say yes to yourself, yes to healing, yes to becoming, yes to the possibility that everything you have been through has been preparing you for this exact moment of recognition, this homecoming to yourself. What is keeping you from stepping into that version of you that already exists? The one who knows who they are without needing external validation. The one who wakes up clear and calm and connected to their purpose. The one who doesn't chase love because they radiate it. Who doesn't fear loss because they know they can never lose themselves again. The one who moves through the world with the quiet confidence of someone who has walked through their own shadows and emerged not broken but beautifully, courageously whole. That version of you is not some distant destination you reach when you have finally figured everything out. It is not a reward for perfect behavior or flawless choices. It is already within you, waiting, breathing, alive in the space between your thoughts, in the pause between your heartbeats, in the silence that speaks louder than all the noise. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you were before the world told you to forget, before you learned to edit yourself, before you started believing that your authentic self wasn't enough. So take a deep breath. Right now, really breathe, like your future depends on it. Because in a way it does. Every breath is a signal, a declaration, a vote of confidence in your own existence. You are telling the universe you are still here, still choosing to stay, to try, to keep moving forward even when the path feels unclear. And that effort, that persistence, that willingness to keep breathing through the uncertainty, it matters more than you know. It ripples out in ways you cannot see, touching lives you will never meet, inspiring souls you will never know you have affected. You are not invisible, you are not alone, and you are not the only one who sometimes feels like nothing will ever change. like you are stuck in patterns that seem stronger than your will to break them. But everything is already changing, has been changing since the moment you first felt that restlessness, that divine dissatisfaction that refuses to settle for surface level living. That is your soul's way of shaking you awake, of saying there is more, not in the material world, but in the depths of your own being. You may not have realized it, but the moment you began to question the noise, the roles, the expectations, you were already awakening. It starts softly, like morning light gradually illuminating a room, like a gentle breeze brushing against the fabric of your familiar routines. A quiet knowing that something is missing, that something more is possible, not more to have or achieve or accumulate, but more to feel, more to be, more to experience of the richness that exists in every single moment when you are truly present to receive it. Think about the last time you stood in nature, completely still, and felt an inexplicable sense of belonging, or the moment you looked into a loved one's eyes and saw something eternal staring back. These aren't coincidences. They are breadcrumbs left by your soul, guiding you back to what is real, what is lasting, what is true beyond all the temporary stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are worth. The world will try to convince you that awakening is complicated, that you need special knowledge or perfect conditions or years of preparation. But it is not. It is simply remembering who you were before the world told you who you should be. It is choosing to feel rather than fix, to see not just with your eyes but with your heart, to observe rather than absorb, to witness your thoughts and emotions and experiences without clinging or resisting, without making them mean something about your worth or your future. When you bring awareness to this moment, you begin to remember the power you carry. You realize that the present isn't empty or boring or insufficient. It is overflowing with whispers of your intuition, the pulse of your purpose, the gentle wisdom of your soul that knows things your mind hasn't figured out yet. And through this mindfulness, this conscious presence, you start to observe rather than absorb. You witness your thoughts, your reactions, your patterns without judging them, just seeing them, letting them rise and fall like waves, knowing that you are the ocean, vast and boundless and unshaken by the temporary storms on the surface. This is where true freedom lives, not in controlling every thought or emotion, but in realizing you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your past or your mistakes or your fears. You are the awareness behind all of it, the consciousness observing it all. And in that space of awareness, everything shifts, possibilities open, healing happens, transformation unfolds naturally and gracefully. As you begin to see with this clarity, you also begin to heal. And healing isn't always loud or dramatic. It is often quiet, found in the stillness between thoughts, in the exhale of letting go, in the silence where you finally meet yourself without resistance or judgment. Your old wounds aren't flaws to be fixed. They are invitations to remember your resilience. Every part of you, even the parts that ache, are worthy of love, especially those parts that carry the stories of where you have been and how far you have come. Think of a time when you felt broken, only to later realize that the cracks were where the light entered you. That is the beautiful paradox of healing. It is not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. It is about integrating it, honoring it, allowing it to become part of your wisdom rather than your wound. Your scars are not mistakes. They are maps showing you where you have traveled, what you have survived, how much strength you actually possess. The journey of growth is often disguised as loss. You may find yourself releasing friendships that no longer resonate with who you are becoming. Careers that once felt secure but now feel suffocating. Beliefs that once gave you certainty but now feel too small to contain your expanding understanding. And that is not just okay. It is necessary. Letting go is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of evolution. Trees shed their leaves to grow new ones. You too are allowed to release what no longer nourishes your soul. You are not losing yourself. You are reclaiming yourself. There is a sacred grief in this process, but also a sacred joy. The joy of coming home to yourself, of no longer betraying your truth for the sake of comfort or approval. Every time you choose authenticity over acceptance, you align more deeply with your soul's purpose, with the reason you chose to be here in this lifetime, in this body, in this moment. As you grow, as you align, you will notice a new rhythm to your life. One that flows rather than forces, where synchronicities appear like magic, where moments align in ways that feel orchestrated by something greater than coincidence. The right people, opportunities, and insights seem to find you at exactly the right time. And this isn't luck, it is alignment. When your inner world changes, your outer world responds. The universe doesn't speak in words, it speaks in energy, and your energy is now calling in what once felt distant or impossible. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt like you have known them for lifetimes, or stumbled upon a book that answered a question you hadn't even voiced yet, or found yourself in exactly the right place at exactly the right time for something beautiful to unfold? These are the fingerprints of the divine, the universe whispering you are on the right path. Keep going, trust this process. Everything is working together for your highest good. You begin to see that everything is connected, the pain and the joy, the delays and the breakthroughs, the seasons of struggle and the seasons of abundance. They are all part of a grand orchestration. Even the moments you once resisted had purpose. Every challenge shaped you, every pause prepared you. When you thought you were stuck, you were actually being softened, strengthened, refined, so that when the next chapter arrived, you would be ready to live it fully, consciously, with the wisdom you have gathered along the way. Imagine looking back at your life from this perspective. Every heartbreak, every detour, every mistake suddenly makes sense. They weren't obstacles. They were initiations. Each one was necessary to bring you here, to this moment of deeper understanding, to this recognition that you are not broken, you are breaking open, you are not lost, you are arriving. There is nothing you need to prove, nothing to chase. Who you are right now, in this breath, is already enough. You are not becoming, you are returning. This is the great homecoming, the reunion with the part of you that never forgot its divinity, its connection to the infinite, its inherent worth and beauty and power. It is not about acquiring anything new. It is about peeling away the layers of conditioning, fear, and doubt that have hidden your true essence. And in this space of awakening, you also awaken to others. Compassion grows, judgment fades. You see the struggles in others and meet them with kindness. You recognize the same sacred spark in their eyes that burns in yours. Spirituality becomes not just a private experience, but a way of living, a daily practice of presence, peace, and purpose. Your life becomes a mirror of your soul, and everything you touch with intention. Imagine a world where we all lived this way, where every interaction was infused with presence, where we saw each other not as separate, but as reflections of the same infinite love. This is the world your awakening helps create. One conscious soul at a time, you learn to live gently, to walk lightly, to speak kindly. Even when the world is loud and messy, you carry a stillness that cannot be shaken. You stop needing to control outcomes, and instead trust the unfolding. You let go of timelines and expectations. You stop waiting for life to begin and realize it already has. This is it, and it is beautiful. The magic isn't in some distant future where everything is perfect. It is here, in the ordinary moments you used to overlook. The way sunlight filters through trees, the warmth of a cup of tea in your hands, the sound of laughter shared with someone you love. These are the moments that make up a life well lived. This journey doesn't promise perfection. It promises presence. You will still face storms, but you will navigate them differently, with grace, with groundedness, with the quiet power of someone who knows their worth isn't determined by external circumstances. You will understand that healing is not about becoming invulnerable, but about becoming deeply, courageously human. Your vulnerability becomes your strength. Your openness becomes your wisdom. You will start to cherish the little things, a sunrise, a deep breath, a moment of unexpected kindness. You will realize that happiness was never in the destination. It was always hidden in the now, right here. In this breath, this pause, this heartbeat, the extraordinary hiding within the ordinary. When you begin to live this way, gratitude becomes your default setting. You wake up amazed at the miracle of being alive, at the privilege of experiencing this human existence with all its textures and tones. You may begin to feel called to create, to express, to share your journey, not to impress, but to inspire. Because when we heal, we naturally want to help others heal. Your story matters, your voice matters, your light matters. Never underestimate the ripple effect of one awakened soul. You may not see it, but your presence uplifts the world. Every time you choose love over fear, every time you respond with kindness instead of judgment, you send out a vibration that shifts the collective energy. And even in moments of doubt, remember this. You are never alone. You are held by something vast and wise and loving, whether you call it spirit, universe, God, or simply love. It is here always, within you, around you, guiding, supporting, witnessing your growth. You are both the child and the cosmos, the drop and the ocean, divine and human. There is a beautiful paradox in this realization. The more you connect with your own divinity, the more human you become. You stop striving for some unattainable ideal and instead embrace the messy, glorious, imperfect perfection of being alive. So, dear soul, as you continue to walk this path, let it be with an open heart and a curious spirit. Let every experience be your teacher. Let every breath remind you that you are alive, you are evolving, and you are deeply, profoundly loved. If these words have touched something within you, if you feel a stirring, a warmth, a quiet yes rising from the depths of your being, then honor it. Let it be your guide. Say it out loud or whisper it in your heart. I embrace my journey of awakening. I trust the path unfolding before me. I am ready to remember who I truly am. Let this affirmation be a lighthouse on stormy days, a reminder on quiet nights, a declaration of your true identity as a conscious, radiant, ever unfolding being, a soul who came here not just to survive, but to thrive, to awaken, to love without condition, to live fully, freely, fearlessly. Take this moment as your turning point, not because everything suddenly becomes easy, but because you have decided to stop abandoning yourself. You have decided to show up, not just for others, but for you, for your healing, for your joy, for the vision that has been quietly calling your name from the very beginning. It is not too late, you are not too far gone. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again. The future is not waiting for someone else. It is waiting for you, the real you, the one who dares to believe again, who dares to try again, who knows that this time it can be different. Not because the world changes, but because you have changed. You have grown. You are wiser now, more aware, more capable, and most importantly, more connected to your truth than you have ever been before. That truth is what will carry you forward. That truth is what will manifest the love, the purpose, the abundance, the clarity you have been seeking. It all starts there, not in doing more, but in being more of who you already are. And you are doing that right now in this moment, by simply showing up, by choosing presence, by remembering what matters most. If your heart is beating faster right now, if your chest feels light, if something inside of you feels wide open and ready, that is confirmation. That is your soul saying, yes, this is it. Keep going, don't stop here. This is just the beginning of everything you came here to experience and express and become. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for being exactly who you are,